Round about September 2011, my contacts were busy telling me that the government was going to produce a consultation on extending airports in the southeast, and the Boris Island project was back on the table again. Boris Island's a project to build a new island in the Thames Estuary for a new London airport. Although there's been quite a bit of comment about Lord Foster's proposal to put a 4-runway airport on the island of Grain, I don't think that's the project that really got the government interested. They're thinking much more about an island in the Thames Estuary. It's surprisingly shallow out there, and there are lots of sandbanks, and all you'd have to do basically is to dredge one end of a sandbank, put it on the other, and you'll end up with an island above water on which you could put an airport. The attraction of that project, rather than any other, is very straightforward. If you put an airport on the island of Grain, planes flying in and out of it are going to have to fly over Gravesend, or they're going to have to fly over Sheerness on their way in and out of the airport. If you put it on the island northeast of the island of Sheppey, it's going to be flying in and out over they're going to be flying in and out over the sea. Now obviously that's going to upset a lot less people, and so it's a much more attractive proposition. Although it would be much more expensive to build, because obviously you've got to build the island first. The real issue for many people comes down to this. The downside of the airport is about damage or potential damage to the environment. The upside is all about jobs, and these days jobs are a big plus factor in most people's thinking. The number of people who work at a good airport the size of, say, Gatwick is about 30,000, and they're 30,000 people who would be at all levels of ability. There are jobs at an airport for really well qualified, really well skilled people, and also there are jobs for people who don't have those qualifications, baggage handlers, car park attendants and so on. So they really do provide a good mixture of opportunities for people from every part of the community. Now if you've got an island airport, you've got to connect it basically to London, because it's only the connection to London that's going to make it economically viable. And really there's only two ways of getting to London from an estuary airport. The first bit's common to both options. You drive a causeway from the island over to the Isle of Sheppey somewhere, probably towards its eastern end. Then you can either go across the island and under the Medway and on that way into London, or you can go more directly inland to join up with the existing motorway and high-speed rail networks. Either way, there are some problems with the environment. In many ways, the best option for the local environment would be to go under the Medway, but that would obviously be very expensive. Twin-tack rail and road tunnels would cost a lot of money under the Medway, and it remains to be seen whether that is what would form part of a plan. If it did, that's better for local people. The people who live on the island of Grain wouldn't probably be so keen, because the rail and the road legs would be going through there. If on the other hand you're connecting it to the existing high-speed line and to the existing motorway network, you'd bring a road through from the island of Sheppey, probably on a new crossing across the Swale, and you'd take it east of Sittingbourne towards those rail links, through the villages that form part of my patch. It's hard to say exactly what the route might be, but if you look at a map you can see there aren't many options in truth. So what do we think? There's a pretty clear choice here. How important are the jobs? How important is the environment? Where do you stand? What do you think? I really would like to know what you think about the island proposal. One thing I'm sure of, the money is there to build it if we want it to happen. It would bring a lot of jobs. It would bring a lot of environmental issues. So when you sum it all up, there's a choice to be made. Do tell me what the choice is that you'd like to see made, because I think that's a very important factor in what the result of this consultation is going to be. If local people do opt for the jobs, they do opt for an estuary airport, I think the chance of one being built are really very high. If they don't, who knows?